Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Ready to Love Season 6 Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you get anything out of the content, hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, the men meet in the gentleman's lounge for the very first time. It's their first one of the season. And so Tommy asks what it's like dating in Miami. So Samson was like, well, you know, from the neck down, it's cool, but you know, it's hard to find someone that really intrigues you. Sure it is. So Tommy challenges them to date outside the box and to be creative. Now listen to the instructions. Date outside of your norm and be creative. They were creative, but they didn't understand the assignment, child. It's like, y'all got a lot of fine bodies, but what about the minds? I thought you wasn't looking, Tommy. I thought you wasn't looking. So the men have control this week. One woman will be eliminated, honey. We know how they like to do. In the next scene, LJ is going on a date with Looney. Okay, Looney, with the walk up, honey, after the negative PCR test, get into it. So she was like, you know what? LJ kept checking on me when, you know, I was down, and I really appreciated that. So they've been vibing. So she's happy to finally be going out on a one-on-one date. And he did say he was going to check on her. So LJ gets points for that. He really does. So it's her very first date with anybody. And Looney said that LJ was the first person smart enough and intentional enough to get her number. LJ. You know what I was speaking about earlier about not understanding the assignment? Tommy said somebody you wouldn't normally date. Every season, these men get it wrong. So listen on, honey, because I know how y'all like to listen, child. Just scratch this, okay? Scratch this completely because it never works in their favor. They do the exact opposite. They do whatever the hell they want to do. So just stop telling them to date opposite and just say, go on a date, because that's exactly what they're going to do. Moving forward. In the next scene, Flower Child, aka Shakira, she's on her way on a date with Zoe. Okay, we got the side ponytail and the flowers giving Babysitters Club. Oh my goodness. Let me tell y'all something. In the 90s, I loved the Babysitters Club. And that is what Shakira is giving me, honey. It's giving 9th grade school cafeteria realness, honey. Ooh, child. So anyway, she goes for her date. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking youthful, but Shakira really gives me, I don't know, she just gives me, oh, as if, honey, it's giving kind of clueless a little bit. So she's sitting down with Zoe and she wants to talk to him about the fact that she has a young child and she can't just get up and go. And she knows that he has the bachelor lifestyle. He's retired. He dip it and does it however he wants to, and she can't just do that. So she sits down and side note, Shakira, I am, however, happy to see you wigless today, boo. Okay? I'm so happy to see that wig gone. Child, burn it. Back over with LJ and Looney, he's asking her what she wants in a relationship. Now, mind you, he's asking questions as well. Okay? I just want y'all to keep that in mind for a little bit later because I have an unpopular opinion. Okay? Now, he's asking her questions, sort of like an interview. Samson does the exact same thing. But when women do it, it's a problem. Okay, here we go. So he's asking her what she wants in a relationship, and she said someone authentic and that prioritizes the relationship, not just someone that sees her as an afterthought. So, you know, these two, they vibing and whatnot. They pan over to Zoe and Shakira, and he asked her about her son. She's like, well, he's good. You know, he's 7. And so she was like, you know, do you date women that have kids? And he's like, I don't really have a preference, really. So she's telling him that because of his lifestyle, she didn't know if he wanted to date a woman with such young children. And he was like, well, you know, your child is an extension of you. And, you know, my daughter is an extension of me. So if you don't want my child or if you don't accept her, then it's a no-go. Okay, I do appreciate that answer. I do. Men and women definitely have to understand that single parents and their kids come as a package deal. If I'm dating a guy with children, then I have to know that they come along with him. And someone in the future will have to know that my son comes along with me. So, I mean, and that's just that on that. Back over with LJ and Looney, honey, LL. He's asking her how she wants her man to make her feel. She was like, I want to feel protected because, my mom passed away in 2016. I'm sorry to hear that. And she wants somebody that's going to be able to be there for her so she can lean on them if she needs to. So he can relate to that because he has no family there. And so these two are really vibing. Okay, I can see the sparks. They're flying, honey. It's giving sparks, no Jordan, honey. That's what it's giving. I can tell that he's really into her and he's very engaged and really trying to figure out, what she wants in a mate. So I do appreciate that. LJ seems like an authentic guy. Him, and I would say Samson, but I'm seeing something with Samson, and I'm going to tell y'all in just a minute. Moving forward. Back over with Shakira, she's telling Zoe, she was like, yeah, I just assumed, that we were on two different wavelengths. I mean, you never asked for my number. That's because he did not want it. Okay? This date is for someone they normally wouldn't date. Whenever I see Zoe, it's like he just does not want to be there. Last episode, when Kayla gave him that smooch, he was just blank. Sitting in front of Shakira, blank. I don't know if anybody else is paying attention, but he just does not look like he wants to be there. So when she said, well, you haven't asked me for my number, he was like, okay, I apologize for not getting your number. Sir, you don't apologize for not getting her number. Any man that wants to pursue you will. I can't even go pump gas, okay, without somebody running up to me. Hey, say, can I get your number? No. No, honey, I don't know how many other languages I can say no, but I think they all translate to it's a hell now. Men, when they want your number, they will ask you for it. I don't give a damn what you are doing. Honey, this man did not want your number. I'm just telling you straight up, honey, he did not want your number. He's like, yeah, I apologize for not getting your number, but I wanted to get to know you, to see if there was something there. And she's like, He was like, no, seriously. I wanted to see if we were going to vibe or not. I just want to see if there's a connection there. He's like, at this point, I do want your number. Oh, my God. Baby, these men act like it's a privilege. I would never offer up my number if you do not ask me. I say stick to Samson, Shakira, honey, because though he's not interested in you in that way. You have to tell him you didn't get my number. He knows he didn't get your number and he didn't want it. Moving forward. In the next scene, Charisse is meeting up for a date with Samson. I don't see her match being there. I feel like she can go, but I mean, here we are. So he said that his first impression of her was not the best. Honey, join the club. Always go with your first mind, as my grandma would tell me. And she said that Samson isn't the guy that she would normally go for, but she wants to know more about him, and he seems like a protector. So they sit down, they're eating ice cream, and he asks, what does she do to stay in shape? And she was basically like, I get it from my mama. Oh, where you get your eyes from? I get it from my mama. Shout out to Juvenile, honey. She get it from her mama. It's basically what she was saying. She has good genes. So they start talking about their families, and he reveals that his dad is deceased, and his mom and dad were married, and he hopes to give, his mom grandkids one day, because she's always asking, honey, you know how they like to do, child. As soon as you get to a particular age, when you gonna start having some babies? For what? Because when I have them, you don't want to watch them? Child, that's neither here nor there. Child, that's just a side note, honey. Oh, I'm projecting my own trauma onto Samson, honey. Oh, this is a fool. Moving forward. Samson does seem like a really nice guy, though. With every woman that he's on a date with, he's always so attentive and engaging. So she was basically saying that the conversation with him was easy like Sunday morning, and they share some of the same interests. So he was like, yeah, I like to go on dates where I'm feeling the person and I'm feeling you. Okay. Scratch that. I also think Samson likes everyone he goes out with. Samson likes everyone who likes him. I don't like everybody who like me. Sometimes you might like me and I might not like you back. Sometimes I might like you and you might not like me back. Like, I wasn't seeing the chemistry between the two of them, but he seemed to enjoy the date and she did too, so we shall see. Over on the other side, Mike goes on a group date with Looney, April, Kayla, Charisse, Swayze, and Justice. Ooh, so many people on these dates. Y'all, these walks that Looney does, baby, Looney waits for her close-up. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Director. Baby, she sachets in there. You know what it reminds me of? Every time she does that, it reminds me of the walk that Beyonce does in Freakum Dress. That video, this episode, I was like, girl, not the Freakum Dress walk, but you go ahead on, honey. Hit him with that Naomi Campbell walk. So they're doing some acrobatic workouts. I was actually shocked to see Big Mike get up on that thing. I was like, okay, Big Mike. I'm not a Mike fan. We'll talk about that in a second. Justice was acting like he was too cool for school, talking about, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be up here. I don't want to be a part of the Ringling Brothers circus. Well, I bet not see you acting like a clown on the show then. Okay, which I think you are. Moving forward. So Mike pulls Kayla over to the side. He's excited to have a one-on-one with her. So they're flirting, they're vibing. Everyone is paired up, right? And in comes April, because she's solo. Child, she almost on his lap, and he's still touching Kayla. He's not interested. April. The body language says he's not interested, so why are you wrapping yourself around him? And I thought you didn't like Mike. You should have slid in over there with Justice. Didn't you say he make you feel away or something like that? Girl, why are you over here with Mike? Why are you draped all over him? I'm just not understanding this. Side note, okay, because y'all know I noticed it. Baby, April got these adult edges and hair slicked to the side of that head. Y'all know she used that Ampro gel. Baby, you do not get them type of edges with that clear gel. That's that black people gel. That's what I call it. Y'all know that gel that you can get for 99 cents, honey. Well, you know, inflation. So $1.19 now. And it gets your edges crispity, crunchity. And I'm not talking about peanut buttery Butterfinger. I'm talking about the crispity, crunchity edges that you get. Y'all know in the early 90s, you didn't use nothing but that Ampro. The one with the white top and the bottle is solid. That's how April is slicking down these edges. April, this is not it, girl. Child, now I was giving you a pass with your headband wig. I ain't say nothing about your headband wig for the past 2 episodes. I'm like, April got a headband wig on. It is okay. Sometimes we are in the panorama. It is okay. But April, you have managed to slick these edges like these edges have never been slicked before, and I cannot do it. I can't do it, honey. I have to say something today. You're a nice lady, but them edges just ain't right. So she said Mike said things at the brunch that made him seem uninterested. He's not interested. He's not. So these two are going back and forth and back about who's interested. And Kayla is like, what is happening? Like, what are y'all even arguing about? What are y'all talking about? So while they doing all that, Swayze comes and steals Kayla away. Ooh, Saved by the Bell. If a man gives me even an inkling that he's not interested in me, he's not, and I will approach the situation as such. Honey, there's no need to discuss it. He's letting you know, plain and simple, that he's not interested. She's like, well, if you're interested, then tell me. And then I'll be interested. Because I'm not about to beg, and I'm not about, but yet you're wrapped around him like a Twizzler. So are you engaged in the conversation and wanting him to like you or not? Girl, anyway. So she asked him, are you interested? He said, ma'am, he's not. Okay. I don't think your man is here either. I really don't. Outside with Justice, he's talking to Looney, and Swayze is talking to Kayla, and she's telling him, that she wants to go out with him sometime. And she's like, so what are your favorite spots? Like, where do you like to be in Miami if I'm looking for you? Not that I'm looking for you. Okay, pause. Why is every woman on here giving all of them, and the men are just sitting back receiving? I don't like that. Court me. Okay? These women are a prize. Why are y'all just sitting back like, come hither? Now, I remember Samson saying, I don't pursue a woman unless she pursues me first or unless she likes me first. Then you had Justice saying he had to be cosmically aligned. I don't take women on dates. We can do other things besides spend money. This group of men ain't it. They ain't it. They ain't it, honey. If I just had to, they just ain't it. Okay. I probably could let Randall, LJ, and Samson slide by. And potentially Swayze, because he's not getting on my nervous system like I thought he would. I think Swayze is just a cool guy. He's just a chill guy. He like to have fun. He like to laugh. And I'm a lot like that. I like a man that's not too serious all the time. And I like a man that's going to allow me to be me. Not always like, okay, Misha, that's not funny. Well, it is to me. And I said what I said, and I ain't changing it. So I like that about Swayze. But the rest of these, baby, they can go. Honey, you can go. To the left, to the left. Shout out to Beyonce. Moving forward. Anywho, that was just a side note. I don't know why all the women are initiating everything. Am I the only one that's noticing that? Like, I cannot be the only one. So she was asking him what is something he feels like he could work on. So he's taking a while to respond. She's like, oh, okay, so you're perfect. You're the epitome of everything. He was like, no, I'm not saying all that. You know what? I could work on saving more. Boy, anyway, back over here with Mike and Sharice. They're talking, and so he asked her what her perception was of him. And again, instead of him saying what it is about her, he's asking her what her perception is of him, fishing for compliments and whatnot. Anyway, So she was like, well, I thought you were a great guy, but I was just scared about the divorce and the kids because that's baggage. Baggage, sis? He's like, she's 45 still acting like that? Ma'am, in our 40s, you have to know that they're coming with something. Either a divorce or children or both. It's very rare, honey, almost like spotting a unicorn. It's a needle in a haystack to find a man unmarried with no children when you go towards your 40s. I'm just being realistic. And he was like, she called my kids baggage. I'm just going to tell y'all right now, that conversation would have ended right there. That's why she liked those socially awkward DBD, because he denies his baggage. That was such a low vibrational thing to say. Like, I'm sure you were aware that some of the men here would have kids. Like, girl, what? So he was like, well, if a man said that about you, it will be on. He's like, why don't you have kids at 45? She's like, I'm 43. It just was not the time for me to have children. Okay, pause. Because what you not finna do, okay, because I see both sides, what you're not about to do is sit here and make her feel some kind of way because she doesn't have kids at 43. Maybe she didn't want kids. Everybody doesn't have children early. What does her not having kids have to do with anything? He was like, that's a red flag to me. Sir, everything about you is a red flag, though. Like, as far as I'm seeing, I don't really know what they see in Mike, to be quite honest. I mean, I know you like him tall, dark, and bearded, but we got to come with something other than that, because if we're really being real, Mike has not offered anything of substance since he's been on my screen. Or maybe that's just me. If you don't like what was said, don't engage her. That's all you have to do. And Sharice, at your big grown age, you don't know how to articulate a thought properly without offending someone? Like, this was not articulated properly. She's like, yeah, those are my beliefs. I just want to be married with someone who's never been married or had a baby. Well, good luck, Chuck. Honey, because I don't know where you're going to get that. I hope you find it, though. That's understandable if that's what you want. But don't call his children baggage. Like, that's the bad part about it. We all have our wants, okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all a little something about me. Before I hit 30, I was not dating a dude with kids. It wasn't happening. I didn't come with children, and I didn't want a man that had children because I wanted us to have our children together. But then as I approached 30, I started to rethink some things. And I'm like, girl, everybody got a baby. So, you're going to have to expand your dating pool. And some days I feel bad for going against what I believed, because I started to date a man that had children and we got married and now I have my child. And some days I wish that I would have stuck to my rule. But making a person feel bad because they have children and calling them baggage, that's something totally different, child. In the next scene, Randall is going out with Trinika. Sir, and again, you already like her. Talking about, we didn't get to talk as much. That's not the same thing. I swear they need to stop giving this assignment, child, because these men just don't know what to do with it. So Trinika shows up. Hey, girl, she's so pretty. Trinika, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You are so pretty, but I just want you to comb them curls out or something. Give them like a little bit of zhuzh, honey, a little bit of va-va-va-voom or something. I know you could do it. He's asking her when her last relationship was, and she said it was 2019, but she's ready to date because she's done the work. So Randall was really feeling the vibes. He was liking her as well. They're having a little bit of banter, and I can tell that these two are really feeling each other. I just want the men to give a little more, because her body language was leaned into him. He was like, yeah, she's making me feel so comfortable. She's touching me. She's rubbing me. What about her? That's all I'm saying. What about her? Come on, Randall, now. Over on the other side, Swayze set up an archery date with Mike, Brandy, and Kaden. And they're all doing their archery or whatever. And so Kaden, girl, what is going on with this outfit, honey? This looks like a little Aaron outfit. This ain't what we wear on the screen, honey. Not the little Aaron outfit. Baby, Kaden a mess. So they fall back, right? And Swayze and Brandy, they're still like shooting, the bow and arrow. So he was like, yeah, I did it a few times. She's like, yeah, consistency. You're consistent. And he's like, what? And she said, I said that you were consistent, being in a relationship and whatever. So she's complimenting him, right? But, ma'am, where did this rib come from? Baby, she done pulled out these plate of ribs. Ma'am, you know what? One thing about Kaden that I've noticed, she gonna keep a plate. Last episode when she was talking to DBD, she had a plate. This episode, she gonna keep a plate. That's my kind of girl, honey. We gonna eat if we don't do nothing else. But anyway, so she's complimenting him, right? And so they're talking. So she's like, well, let's go sit down and talk about it. Now, me personally, I did not see anything wrong with the line of questioning that she was asking him. The men have asked questions all up and through, but the minute she asked questions, why she so aggressive? She's trying to get to know him. What the hell do you want her to do? Do you not want her to ask any questions? So she sits down with Mike while Swayze is chopping it up with Brandy. But we all know Brandy want to be out there with Mike, child. But anyway, they start talking and she's telling him, that she isn't all about work. And he's like, well, you seem uptight. She's like, no, I'm very free-spirited. You know what? It's funny because she really likes Swayze, but she's sitting here with Mike. And Brandy likes Mike, but she's chilling with Swayze by default. Well, at least they following the rules, I guess. So she's like, no, that's not me. I'm very free-spirited. So Mike was like, in his confessional, I just feel like she's too aggressive for me. What is aggressive about her? Child, here we go. Here we go, child. I don't see it. Now, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't see her as being aggressive. I feel like she was really just having a genuine conversation with him. He just don't like her. When Mike doesn't like a person, it's like he nitpicks them apart. The same thing he did with April. I don't like Mike. I just don't. So she's like, I feel like you're uptight. Like, you seem like an introvert. And so in the confessional, he's like, she's judging me because I'm not saying anything, but I'm totally opposite. I just don't want to talk to you. But didn't you just judge her? You see what I'm saying? You see the hypocrisy of it all? Like, what is happening? You just judged her, but when she says something, she judging me. And boy, gone. Moving forward. I'm not a fan of the men this season. I'm just not. Mike is kind of rude to the women that he isn't feeling. He's always bringing up their age. I just don't like it, and I don't like him. This season has some combative people, child. So Brandy comes in to interrupt. They're back and forth and back. And so she goes back out with Swayze. So over with Brandy, she's asking him if he made any other connections. And he's like, I had some people reach out to me. I feel like a top round draft pick. Ugh. I haven't seen you be nice to anyone but Brandy. You do know that it will be the men's turn next week, right? And I think he likes Brandy because she's seen and not heard. The way that he likes his women. Y'all remember that? Because it's just so funny to me that he was combative with April. Okay, which I don't even know why April went over there, child. If you tell me you don't like me, honey, that's all you got to tell me, honey. Let me know and let me go. He was combative a little bit with April because he didn't like her. Then when he got with Kaden, he didn't like her because she was asking him questions. How is she going to get to know you if she doesn't ask you questions? Then when Sharice put her foot in her mouth, of course, he had something to say, but that was understandable because don't call my children baggage, okay? Don't go there. But at the same time, he was like, well, you 45 and you ain't never had no kids. That's a red flag. So I think he's honest when he says he wants his women to be seen and not heard. Moving forward. So she was like, so what are you looking for in the process? And he's like, somebody to grow with. I'm just looking for my person. And she's like, yeah, I'm looking for my person too. Over with Swayze, he's over there lying, child, cheating with his bullseye. I'm like, look at this boy. He play all day. So Kaden comes back in and, they talking. I can tell she's a little bit more relaxed with him because he allows her to be herself. And these two bounce off of each other. He always playing. And she was like, boy, I'm not about to play with you. And that kind of reminds me a little bit of myself. I like people that I can let my hair down with. And I think that's why she gravitates to him. So then these two share a little bit of cute banter and we moving on. Moving forward. In the next scene, Brandy and Mike, they're still talking. And so Mike said, I'm really feeling Brandy. I mean, she knows how to talk to me because the other ladies, they don't. Well, Mike, you aren't an effective communicator either. Just so we're clear. So the men meet back up in the lounge. And so Tommy asked them if they found any new connections. So Samson said he did, after going on the date with Sharice. He likes her a little bit. And Randall said Trinika. Randall, you already liked Trinika. Oh, child, I'm not about to play with him. So LJ said his date with Looney went well. And Tommy said, she's back with us now. Tommy. Tommy, she was not deceased. Oh my goodness, she's back amongst the living. Oh, that damn Tommy. So he was like, I felt really good on our one-on-one date. Here come Justice. Now, mind you, Justice don't got nothing to offer, never. But he always got something negative to say. Here go Justice. Yeah, I kind of integrated Looney back into the group. Sir, you did not onboard her onto the process. You did not. Okay? You don't even like to court women. Your conversation meant absolutely nothing. I'm not feeling Justice either. But Justice is feeling himself. So I guess that's all that matters. So then Tommy tells them it's time to decide who doesn't do it. So Zoe said, Brandy, because he hasn't gotten to know her. Okay, well then get to know her. Anywho, Mike said April. Of course he did. Samson said April because he wants a woman that he wants to chase, and he does not want to chase April. I thought that was an honest answer. Okay, I feel like that was as real as it gets. LJ says Sharice. He said we can be cool, but nothing outside of that. And I'm surprised that Mike didn't say Sharice. If somebody called my children baggage, they're the first person that will be mentioned. Honey, not April. Because she wanted you to be interested in her. But this woman called you. Okay, child. It's the privilege for me. So then Swayze said Tronika. Justice said Kaden. Tommy said why? He said, just don't DM me at 1 a.m. Girl, not you late night DMing Justice. And then he tried to act kind of coy about it after he said it. Sir, did she or did she not DM you at 1 a.m? My question is this. What man wouldn't want a beautiful woman to DM them? No matter what the hour. When you get up, then read it. See y'all, this is what I'm saying. This right here. I'm not feeling Justice either. Well, I never was feeling Justice from the beginning. Okay. He's full of himself. So Mike said Kaden because of her demeanor. He's like, I ain't never seen a woman eat and ask aggressive questions. These men are hell. They are hell. Yes, her and that real bone could have waited. But why are they clowning these women like this? This group of men real different, honey. They real different. I'm just going to say this, honey. I don't know if y'all have paid attention, but the Houston men were all very respectful to the women in deliberation. This right here, I don't know what this right here is, child. This is a fool. That's what it is. So it's time for the eliminate. So LJ goes out with April. April, yes, girl. You need to keep these hats, honey. Get one in every color, okay? Get that headband a break. But the edges is still plastered to that head, but we can't see them so much because you got that hat. I like you in a hat. April, I like that. So Kaden goes to meet with Swayze, and she was comfortable with that, but she ain't no fool. Because she walked in and she was like, well, I already know the men met with Tommy, so I'm already knowing something is up. She said, oh, you bringing out the muscle shirt today. Here goes Swayze. Who told you to say that, Tommy? She said, no, I ain't seen Tommy. Y'all, when I tell y'all that was so funny to me, I said, him and them little bitty shirts, baby. That shirt ain't got no slack on him. It ain't as tight as a Hotel Hope shirt. Because Martell gonna wear a shirt to cut off his circulation, so it ain't that tight. But when he said, who told you to say that to me, Tommy? Oh, I thought that was so funny. Swayze, you might be all right. I love a clown, child. You might be all right. So over on the other side, LJ is beating around the bush with Miss Sideburns, and Swayze is telling Kaden that all of the guys felt like she was asking intimidating questions. She's like, yep, I'm asking how many kids they have. I'm asking this, I'm asking that. Yep. See, Kaden, it's all that. It's all that with it. You can ask whatever you want, honey. It's the way you ask it. It's okay to be a little bit softer. It doesn't make you weak. A man don't like too much rah-rah. Like you gotta, do you have any children? Honey, while caressing his hands, honey, or something. You ain't gotta be like, how many children do you have? What is your FICO score? Not the one on Credit Karma, the actual FICO score. Like, it's a way to ask it. Just lean into your femininity just a little bit. But honey, don't stop asking questions, because they sure gonna ask you questions. And I said what I said and I ain't changing it. So she was like, well, maybe they should learn how to lead. Oh, Lord. Okay, reel it in, Kaden, reel it in, honey. The attitude's starting to shine through. Over on the other side, LJ is being so kind to April. He's like, yeah, the men don't see the je ne sais quoi. What they should see. What he meant, April, was the men don't feel like you're giving the zhuzh that should be given. They don't see it. They don't see the connection. So Swayze said, we just all feel like you're ready to love. She gonna say, okay. But in her confessional, she did say, she was like, you know what? I'm going to tone it down a little bit. I'm going to open up. And when he told her that, she was like, okay, I'm going to do better. And I feel like she received it. She had a little attitude. Now, don't get me wrong. She had a chip on her shoulder. But I feel like once she digested everything that was said, she realizes that, girl, if you're ready to love and you want to find your person, you have to take that chip off your shoulder. Okay? So back with LJ, April finds out that the men think she isn't ready to love. Y'all know what? April reminds me of the widow from last season. I cannot remember her name, but they have the same demeanor. That's who she reminds me of. And that was the end of the episode. This episode was a little flat. It didn't really give much. Last episode was better in my opinion, but you know, as the season goes on, we'll get more and more into it as we get into it. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought. What do you think about Mike? I cannot be the only one. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do you think Kadeen was aggressive? She complimented him right off the bat and said, you know, I can see that you're consistent. He just don't like nobody except Brandy. Because why? She's seen and not heard. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.